He's taken by two women in a black Jeep Grand Cherokee. We still do not know the relationship. We still do not know who handed off the babies to the precinct. If that person or group of people are being investigated, are being arrested, we do know that mom is with Livonia PD. I did get a chance to speak to the grandma, and she was the one who informed me way early in advance that the babies are at the 9th precinct, and that's one of the reasons why we also got a head start and we're here. Now, another thing that Livonia PD has confirmed that they are still looking for the black Jeep Grand Cherokee. And so if anyone has any information about that vehicle, they're urged to contact the police or any information about this incident in general. Once again, two babies, 14 days old, were kidnapped, or excuse me, as per Livonia PD, reported as abducted from a hotel by allegedly the mom's two acquaintances, and that happened at 10 p.m. They were dropped off at the 9th precinct here in Detroit at about 9:30 this morning. They're in.
Wow, sounds
okay. Yeah, I did get that Amber Alert. I got that this morning. Yeah, I know that. I got that Amber Alert, and the 9th precinct is only 5 minutes away from me. So yeah, I was at work at the time. Yeah.
Sounds like some foul play, man. Somebody's playing. But those 14 days old. You don't play around with kids like that. You got to get feedback. Somebody put headphones on. Yeah, you getting feedback. I think it's you, Freeze. But yeah, so man, yeah, don't the kids. That's the time when they got to be breastfed, right? First 30 days. Is that crucial, ladies?
Yes.
Well, it all depends if you're breastfeeding or if you're giving them the formula. You know, you just can't switch up the formula unless, you know, it's advised by the doctor.
Oh,
yeah. You just can't give them milk, is what I mean. You know, some kids can't take it. I know that.
Speaking of formula, we're gonna have to cover that as well with this formula shortage. But back to the topic.
Yeah.
Wow. Uh-oh. You don't put that kufi on so early. Yeah.
No, that's a serious thing. But, you know, to be honest with you, it's nothing about going back to what they did in the old days. In the old days was basically a can of evaporated milk and 1 can of water. And then you sterilize your bottles. And that was the formula.
What?
Yep. That's what many people raise their children on. It either couldn't breastfeed because for different reasons, or because of the type of jobs they had, they still couldn't breastfeed and stuff like that. Because, you know, back in the days, you couldn't just take off. They didn't work like that. So, you know.
When you
but
say
again,
back
like I said,
what do you mean? Back in the days, like what? What time frame? Talking about the 60s?
Like the 60s, yeah. Like in the late 60s, in the early 70s, they started with the Enfamil and Similac. It was just those two in the beginning that you had options if you didn't want to do it the other way.
Yeah, but what if the kid was fussy? Like now, you know how you got that fussy, you know.
Well, okay. What happens is, right, you have some kids that are colicky, and then you have some kids, unfortunately, you have some kids, and that again is something crazy that they've noticed over the last 30 years. You have more kids being born, and they have issues with milk. They have issues with soy. Some of them have to, you know, for example, one of my grandchildren, as soon as she was born, she couldn't tolerate. She had to have pre-digested milk.
Yeah.
That was $600 a month. So, you know, I don't know what would have happened if that happened 40 years ago, but you know, and so you see that anybody that goes in any supermarket, go down those aisles, it's like you got a lot of different things you have to see. And then
that stuff is expensive, man.
Well, it's expensive, but again, you can't just because, say for instance, you're out of Enfamil, you know, you can't just jump over to something else.
What happened if you do that? God forbid.
Well, it all depends on the kid, how if their system could take it, and especially if they're younger, you know. And like for instance, in my case, where my granddaughter, one of them had the pre-digested milk, okay, after they got 6 months, the pediatrician had them wean like half and half.
Yeah.
You couldn't
Okay.
just switch off, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But
that's messed up with the kids. Thank God they didn't have any, things like that.
yeah, but what Big Freeze is mentioning is that there is a large shortage, and
Yeah.
now if you don't have this milk, what are the parents are going to do?
All right.
You know.
Getting back to the kids,
Yep,
there's
that's a big issue.
gonna be there's definitely gonna be a situation with that Jeep that they were looking for.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. And I
yeah.
don't know. It didn't
14
sound like it was
days.
too
Wow.
serious. It didn't sound like it was. It sounded like it was. I'm just overstepping, but it sounded like it was an argument, and maybe somebody owed somebody money, for example, and they took the kid for collateral and didn't realize it would be such a 'cause remember this. That's a kidnapping charge. And
Yeah.
that's dangerously serious. I don't know in Detroit how serious they take it, but I know in New York you get so you get in a fight and don't let somebody leave the apartment, that could be considered kidnapping.
Yes,
I've seen people
that's
being
right.
charged with felonies.
Yep.
And depends the time and everything. Oh yeah, you might be going to prison for that. They definitely take that serious. It depends, especially now it's election time, right? So charges are being handled somewhat differently. Yeah. Yeah, so they definitely gonna be in trouble for that one. And then just let everybody know. Have you guys heard about the 2-year-old Josiah Mitchell from Atlanta? Oh
No.
my
No, I didn't hear about
man.
that.
What the hell? Am I the only one that goddamn look at it? What the hell, yo? What y'all doing? Oh,
It's
anyway,
it's it's
let's get you guys up to pace. Oh my, get you up to pace. There's a 2-year-old out of Atlanta named Josiah Mitchell. He's missing, and they arrested the father because, like always, seems like somebody's into something. I guess he got arrested for giving false, information, something to that degree. But we'll get a little deeper into it.
Desperate urgent search across metro Atlanta for 2-year-old Josiah Mitchell. Thanks so much for joining us for Fox 5 News at 10. I'm Eric Perry. We are nearing 72 hours since the little boy was last seen. Fox 5's Joy Dukes joins us live from East Point, where police are draining a lake in Joy. This is the apartment complex where the boyfriend, and the father and his girlfriend lived.
Yeah, that's correct, Eric. And as you can see behind me, the search continues tonight for 2-year-old Josiah Mitchell. It continues as East Point police try and drain this lake you see here. A private investigator I spoke with says as the search approaches the 72-hour mark, the cause for concern is only growing.
I just want to get my baby, that's it.
With every gallon of water pumped out of this pond near an East Point apartment complex, anticipation is building in the search for 2-year-old Josiah Mitchell, who was last seen Wednesday night.
Last person that was with his daddy.
Josiah's father, 23-year-old Artavius North, initially reported his son had been kidnapped at an apartment complex on Flat Shoals Road in DeKalb County, saying a car that was following him swerved in front of him and then took the child after holding him at gunpoint. Authorities say inconsistencies in that story led them to arrest and charge North with filing a false report and making false statements. It also led investigators to expand their search area to a landfill in Griffin and this pond sitting just outside the Elite at Lakeview Apartments where North and his girlfriend live.
Why are they looking at a lake or in a landfill for the child to be there? There's something more going on that we know about right now.
TJ Ward is a private investigator who's worked in law enforcement for more than 40 years, most known for his work in the Natalie Holloway case. He tells Fox 5 with the search for Josiah approaching the 72-hour mark, every second, minute, and hour that passes is all the more critical.
What is up with these kids? All these kids missing, parents are involved. Like, man, if you don't want the kid, there's so many agencies you can go to now, right? Like,
It's true.
Man,
It's
I don't
true.
know. I'm quite sure they have family members that would have been glad to take the kid. If you're really going through something. My advice would be, let somebody know if you're going through something, because it's
Saturday morning and was denied bond, so he remains in custody.
Yeah.
North went before a judge earlier Saturday morning and was denied bond, so he remains in custody while East Point police and family members of that child continue the search. Now, if you have seen Josiah or you have any information about where he might be, please reach out to detectives. Again, this family is just really, really desperate for answers tonight. That's the latest here live in East Point.
Man.
That's crazy.
Yes. He's definitely up to something. Definitely up to something. And you know, we just had that case with the female. Remember, she lied and said she got kidnapped. Remember that case?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's
Yep.
not a good look,
No.
especially that community.
And if you look at this, when I was doing a little research, because I was looking for a specific title, and it came up with like 6 different things. I was like, whoa.
For what?
For a 10-year-old being shot. It was so many different states and everything. And, you know, either the child being shot or hurt or killed.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, this is, you know, I know a lot of stuff does happen in the summer, but this is off the chain. I mean, you know, just like you said, you know what, they're only 14 days old, you know.
Yeah, but this is a 2-year-old boy. Yeah, it's a 2-year-old boy.
And now this one, right, and this story is with a 2-year-old boy, okay? And it's like, now you're worried about who you could leave your child with.
Sure. Have we even got any updates about all the kids missing in Cleveland?
Yeah, you do 30 kids. Yeah, that was crazy. Oh yeah,
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's been quiet. I haven't heard.
I haven't heard it. Have you guys heard anything? I haven't heard anything on that one.
No, I haven't heard anything.
Nah. But I know we done had kids missing here for the last 2 weeks. I know that. I did hear that.
Wow.
And they're claiming, which is a shame too, is that's why there's so many agencies involved that they're keeping quiet, and a lot of this is for the body parts or for smuggling.
Allegedly.
Hey, have anybody got a chance to watch that movie Sounds of Freedom yet?
No. Sounds of Freedom? But to elaborate. Yeah.
That movie is about child sex trafficking, and it's based on a real story. And you know, it's been banned in a lot of, like, Netflix banned it, a lot of places banned it because it's hitting, pretty much, they say it's hitting too close to home. You know, it's exposing a lot of things that go on in Hollywood as well in terms of the sex trafficking allegedly. And like I said, it's a true story.
Wow.
So yeah, a lot of it's getting a lot of like I said, it's getting banned in a lot of places. I was trying to pull it up on Paramount Plus today. I know Netflix banned it and some other places banned it. So
what?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It's with Mel Gibson. I believe he's one of the directors.
Oh, okay.
And I think Russell Crowe may be one of the actors in there, one of the head actors, but I know Mel Gibson is one of the directors.
Right.
Now, I don't know if y'all been seeing, he's been speaking out a lot against what's going on. Him and Denzel Washington lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, Denzel, you can't front, man. Denzel be holding it down, man. I ain't gonna front. He definitely be holding it down. Man.
So yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of things, man. I was just watching this movie. It was an exorcist movie. It was the Pope's exorcism. I was just telling kids, man, so many things in this world that we just don't know about. A lot of stuff we have no access to and just don't know about. So you really got to be careful when you out here, because that was based on the true story itself.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. After the movie, I had to look up the guy because he died in 2016, and he wrote several books before he died regarding his experiences. But the movie was, movie was crazy.
Yeah, a lot of times you gotta look into the movies because it's like they want to give us signs, and you'll see it through the movies. You know.
Yeah.
Have any one of y'all looked into what's going on in Peru?
No. What's going on?
What's happening in Peru?
But don't talk about the aliens, because that's what I know
That's
about.
exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You got the airstrips down there. I keep telling people, but you don't hear me though.
Allegedly.
You don't hear me now. Yeah. So they let's see what they got. Hold on, we're getting back to the 2 years.
And literally in the last 2 minutes, the crime scene
was staying with his father. And Cody, you have some new developments for us tonight.
Yeah, so something on the 2-year-old.
Faith and Ron, only 11 alive, is here at the complex where Josiah was staying with his dad. And literally in the last 2 minutes, the crime scene unit, along with DeKalb County Police and East Point Police, just pulled out of this parking lot. They were actually up at this unit here. As we zoom in, we saw several investigators, at least a dozen here, along with the crime scene unit. And that is not good news in the search for this little guy. What we saw them bring out, bags of evidence placed into an investigator's car. So just to run through, if you're just catching up on this story, today East Point Police, the game wardens, and DeKalb County Police have been searching this complex. We're at Elite at Lakeview Apartments here in East Point.
Yep, I put my money on the father, allegedly. Yeah, he got something to do with this.
Wow.
Damn, take care of your kids, man. I know it gets hard.
I mean,
it gets hard. It's a hard thing. It's parenting is not for everybody, but definitely not harming your child. That's out the books.
And reach out for help or talk to family members and stuff that they always say it takes a village to raise a child. People
that Josiah, his mother told her.
Mom called me at 12:10
last night.
Yes.
Or this morning.
It was this morning, and she was just like yelling and tragic and everything, yelling, talking about some Josiah. Tate just called me saying that Josiah got kidnapped. Somebody had him at gunpoint and took your baby. And he finally answered and told us that somebody had pulled in after him. I guess they've been watching him. They came behind him, pulled in front of him while he was leaving out the neighborhood, and had him at gunpoint and took my baby because they couldn't take what they thought that he had on him. And that's the story that I'm getting. That's the only information that I know at this moment.
And that we were told by DeKalb County for pretty much the entire day until just a couple of hours ago, they confirmed that story was made up. And we do know, as you mentioned, Ron and Faith, the feds are now involved in this. But anytime you see a crime scene unit on scene, that is not the direction you want this investigation going. But everybody, including a lot of people in this complex, are praying that they will be able to find Josiah and he will be safe. But
yeah. I don't know. That's looking kind of dim, man.
Wow, that's sad.
Oh man, we definitely gonna have to say a prayer on this one. But yeah, that's it's not looking good. Not looking good because it's connected with the father. Like the other situation we talked about with the twins. They was kidnapped and they knew who it was. So it'd probably be some foul play there. But as far as it's definitely, I wouldn't say definitely because hey, things are always open. But it's not looking good on the father's part. Because remember, what I'm saying? Once you're starting out lying, and it's like, it's looking real grim. I think we're definitely gonna do a cover up on this, and it's not gonna be bright like with the twins. Yeah.
Oh man, that's a shame.
Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff going on out here, man, with these.
And ladies, take care of your kids. Okay, why is he with the father? Look at the mother. She look like she could, watch her kid. So
hey, looks can be deceiving. Looks can be deceiving.
Well, maybe she was at work.
No, that's what I said. Yeah, but they said he primarily stayed. Okay, this is a 2-year-old. He primarily stayed with the father. Remember, they had said that. We go back in the rewind.
Yeah, they live together. They live together in that complex.
No, the father. Okay.
If he primarily stayed with his father, 9 times out of 10, the mother got something going on.
That's why I brought that up. That's why I said, she, you know what I'm saying? It could be, maybe she had past abuse or something, or maybe she just, it's a lot of females just, they opt out. I've been seeing that a lot, lately. I would say the past 10 years. You meet some people, they're okay, they working and everything seems like everything's okay, and they got 3-4 kids either taken by the system or it's with the father, and they just don't care. And I'm all with co-parenting, like I said, co-parenting. But then when you have situations like this, where it's not a good look, and not to mention male and female, in my humble opinion, some people might take it wrong, but a child really needs that motherly love. You ever heard that motherly love?
That's true.
Oh, yeah. Not to mention, look at things like this. Your kid is taken. You're the one who's supposed to be looking for him, not playing around with somebody who's going to help you, which is the police, law enforcement, and you're telling them something fugazi. You're starting out, so God forbid if the kid is really missing, you're hampering that by playing
That's
around.
right. Because they have time limits.
No, yeah,
They have windows.
This is
time windows. Yep.
Oh yeah, it's like just like, okay, let's go back and let's talk about the twins, right, from Livonia. Here it is from the gate. They were okay. This is who took them. It wasn't no playing around. Especially when you're dealing with infants, kids. They don't have the same defense mechanisms as an adult would, for example. You see, so
exactly.
You don't want to there's no room for error. No room for error.
No.
And shit, we all have kids on this panel, and I know, what I mean. Just to have shit. My brother got lost at the damn beach one time, and we was going crazy. You know what I mean? Just that thought of you don't know where your kid is. It's.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah, you can't put it in words. So.
That's
losing a kid on the real tip like this, that gotta be like, even the mother, even what we just played, she didn't look that bedazzled, and it's a bunch of cases going on now with that. Just like what's that guy, Henry Dinkins, okay, the one with the case. You guys familiar with that? No. What rock y'all been under, man? That's the 11-year-old. Okay, this is a case for a couple of years. I want to say 3 years ago, but the guy, he's being tried right now. Okay, he's a sex offender. He's the baby father of the son. Okay, but the daughter wasn't his, and she basically got unalive, and he got arrested, and they caught him buying bleach and all this crazy stuff. Yeah, it's just.
Oh man, that's
typical old dumb murder thing.
It is day 6 in the trial of Henry Dinkins, the man accused of killing 10-year-old Breasia Terrell in 2020. Prosecutors called a Davenport police officer who shared what he found inside of Dinkins' RV. The officer was executing a search warrant after Breasia was reported missing when he discovered a white T-shirt, a pair of pants, and tennis shoes, all covered in dirt and mud. The officer also noted a machete on top of a microwave.
Did you make any observations of its condition?
As I was looking at it, I could see what appeared to be some type of white cloth or paper on the serrated edge of the machete.
The state arguing that it appears the machete was cleaned off. That's a theory that matches Breasia's younger brother's claim that he saw Dinkins clean a bloody machete, but the defense points out that no female DNA was found on Dinkins. And we have continuing coverage of the trial. We're streaming it live every day.
Yep. So, ladies, that's what I said. You gotta, gotta be on top of the game, because the game gets real crazy. He's sicko. Yeah, and this was his baby mother's kid. Like what? And that just goes to show the thought process. Just like even his mothers, like like me, I'm not with my kids' mothers, but I know one thing: my kid come up missing, they going off. They going off on everything, everybody. Oh yeah, we got games, but yeah, they going off, and it's just saddening to see these kids. These are all kids we talk about. These are all kids, And I don't want to stick on this too tough. I just want to show you guys the sickness in these goddamn these devils. Okay, because this is a devil mentality. There's no way in hell you could do this. I don't care if your child, any child in general. Like what, and I always tell this to people. If you got a perversion, a fetish, or something like that, you know what I mean. You want somebody older, young. There's even an older fetish. Okay, you got people that want people to wear diapers and stuff like that, and so whatever you're into, you don't have to. You know what I mean. You could get your spouse to dress that way, which is what people do. You go to any swingers club, you'll see that. Okay, you'll see a person in there in a damn, like I said, a diaper. So whatever you're into, they have a lane for that. You don't have to leave these kids alone. And not to mention, you don't want to take care of your kid. There's a family member that'll take it, or there's the neighborhood church, right? MFC, isn't that what you drop? Or I think the fire department. You know what I mean? You could,
Right. You could do fire department, a church, the hospitals.
Yeah. So, and this is the fool, right? This is the fool when the police rolled up. This is the body cam. Okay, this is the Dinkins, the Henry Dinkins. I'm
Date of birth?
you want to say his
8/28
name?
of 1991.
This is the mother.
Address? 614 West 63rd Street, apartment number 1. Phone number? 563. Yep. 676. DREASIA. Yes. Okay. Okay. What's up, Henry? So when was the last time you saw her? Yeah, when was the last time you saw her?
9:30.
Last night?
9:30.
Okay. 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 When was the last time you saw her?
She was in the bed when I woke up.
She was in the bed?
Yeah.
When you went to bed last night? Okay.
This is crazy, man. This is like, you know what I'm saying? I know she fucking going fucking hysterical, big brother.
Yeah. DIN.
KINS.
Your date of birth, Henry?
August 2nd, 72.
Is this your home address?
No.
What's your address?
It's down by Boston Carino.
Yeah, I just
know that.
You don't know your
I don't know the
address?
full address.
Do you know your phone number?
Hell no, I don't even know that either. I swear to God, I don't.
Henry, you don't know where your daughter is. You don't know your address. And you don't know your phone number.
No, for real. I'm finna
So,
give it to you now.
This guy is so full of it. You could smell it a mile away. You could smell it a mile away. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. For myself.
Yeah.
But you got to know your number. You got to know your address.
I don't.
So this is your girlfriend's address here?
This is good for it.
Okay.
Okay, here go my phone right
Okay. What was she last wearing?
here. In the bed. What you have on, some shorts?
What color?
Now
She
this
had
is the fool
shorts
right here
on.
in court.
Did she still have a white shirt on?
She had that long, she had the shirt that you gave her.
The white shirt.
Mm-hmm. This fool, man. Yeah. So that's what we dealing with. We dealing with monsters like this. Yeah.
Wow. That's
So
sad.
watch your kids. They will smile.
Yeah.
You know those scheming people. They'll rob you and help you look for your stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the mentality you're dealing with. You're dealing with.
And they're smooth talkers, so you trust them.
Well, and see, people are blaming the mother. They're saying things, oh, she doesn't look like she's, that worried and things to that magnitude. But she most likely was medication tripping, in my humble opinion.
Right, it's true.
And people don't understand that. But how could you, remember she has a child with this guy, and so that's like, you're going to have to deal with him to some level. But as far as, and this goes back to the craze mentality that this is your kid's mother. So you see what I'm saying? Like that's like you drop your kid off the daycare, come and they're like, oh, well, we don't know where. Like you see what I'm saying? This is not just the stranger that took the kid and did something. This is, and not to mention he has a connection because you have a son. That little boy that was talking, that's his son by her. So like, wow, you be that evil to, not saying it's okay to do it to another child, but this is somebody, but that's how the perverted mind is that sick, so, yeah, but he's in trial right now. They're about to finish up, he's got so much evidence on him where, I in my opinion, I think he did it. What about you guys?
Yep. Yeah, he looks suspicious from Jump Street, so
Yeah,
that
I
was
mean,
easy to catch.
if he got a new phone, maybe that may explain why he don't know his number. But your address, you got to know your address.
He could have just. He didn't say an explanation why, because he could have just moved to that
He could have said
address.
he
Or,
just moved. Right.
to me, what I gathered from that was he was nervous. When you so nervous, you see some people they can't. You ever see a person that can't lie good? They have to think of the lie first, and so if you ask them something else about, yeah, I had a female like that. She yeah, and that's how you could tell she was lying. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
You was rapid with the questions, and she just couldn't get it. And then you could literally see like trying to digest in the mind state. So yeah. Yeah, some people clearly give it away, and that's if you look at body language, I would say that Henry Dinkins guy was giving it away with his body language.
And profilers, they could see people that do interrogations and stuff. They see this. They notice what they call cues and signs. You know, like how you're not answering right, or your eyes. You do something with your head, because some people, just like for gamblers, you may have a person. They have triggers when if you really been playing with this person for years, so you know the person's holding a good hand versus not, or it's bluffing and stuff like that. You know, so it's.
You're right. And there's something else I want to show you that I just it just struck me when I seen this a while ago. Right, that just the body language.
What you mean? 8 o'clock in the morning. That ain't what I said. I never said.
Guys, this isn't the time to fight.
Exactly. I don't give a fuck about you walking, nigga. You lost her though. How did I fucking lose? Because you was watching her, Henry. What the fuck do you mean?
But hey,
I'm gone, sir. Come on, D.
Listen to me. Well, you guys gotta come together right now. This isn't a time to fight about it. Okay. So, well, hey, if you, how am I supposed to, what do you want me to do?
I got nothing. You see how she stepped on me? You know
I mean,
I
got no picture. I got no, what do you want me to do?
What am I supposed to do?
Right.
You know
I get it. Henry, I get it.
All I can do is look.
I get it, Henry.
Wow. All I could do is look.
Henry, let's go inside the apartment one more time.
All I could do is look. That's what you get. All I could do is look. Yeah, he definitely had some foul play with that. Not to mention the stuff that they found. I'm quite sure. Yeah. See, what they didn't get to, I couldn't find where she was found as far as with the dirt. You know. So yeah, he's but he was in the store buying 2 bottles of bleach. Come on now. You know. Yeah. So that's like a textbook case. You know. I don't know why do people be thinking like, hello, they got cameras the past, 30 years, 40 years. All of this stuff is being recorded. They go to Walmart, you always find that, like what the.
Yeah, it's true.
What was you thinking? You better go into your cabinet and get that old stuff, if that was the case, but it's going crazy. And tonight's like a horror night because we have all of these crazy cases, but there's another damn case, 11-year-old girl. Okay, she's unalive. Her name is Maria Gonzalez. Okay, now this one here is a younger person who they just arrested. Okay, and man, talk about pain.
Killing an 11-year-old girl is in custody. 18-year-old Juan Carlos Garcia Rodriguez was arrested in Shreveport, Louisiana. At first, investigators called him a person of interest, but now say he will be charged with capital murder. Devon Raming joins us from a growing memorial in Pasadena. Devon.
Marcelino, people have been coming and going all day here at the memorial for Maria Gonzalez, leaving flowers, balloons, and messages of hope for the Gonzalez family as police try to piece together why this happened. Just a week after Pasadena police say 11-year-old Maria Gonzalez was sexually assaulted and strangled, 18-year-old Juan Carlos Garcia Rodriguez is the man police say is now facing capital murder charges in connection to her death.
I want to say thank you to our community. They are wonderful, and they are the reason that this individual is in custody.
Pasadena police identified Garcia Rodriguez as a person of interest Friday. He was arrested in Shreveport, Louisiana Saturday morning, much to the relief of those who live in this community.
I mean, honestly, it's a good thing because he shouldn't be free at all. needs to go to jail. Needs to get what he deserves. Basically, he killed an innocent life.
Since Friday, investigators say they've obtained more information linking him to Maria's death, including a key that was found at the scene of the crime belonging to a nearby unit police say Garcia Rodriguez was living.
It wasn't enough to sexually assault her. He had to kill her too.
April Aguirre has spent the last week standing beside Maria's father.
Initially, people were putting baseless blame on the father for committing this act. So not only was he dealing with grieving and finding his daughter in the condition that he did, he also was in fear.
Carmela Gonzalez released a statement thanking police Saturday morning while also saying in part, may he be burdened with the full weight of the law for what he had.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Man. So they was blaming the father. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of these fathers are doing crazy stuff to their kids, as you see, fathers and mothers.
And like you said, in a lot of cases, they look at the closest, like the parents, and then they build outside.
Yeah.
Depending on the story, and like you said again, with cameras and footage, they see who goes in and out. When they do the investigations, it's a lot of stuff in detail. Just like how they bring the dogs out to sniff things. It's a lot of process that goes on.
Yeah, and that's how they could tell if you're lying, because a lot of these people, just like that, I'm quite sure they looked through footage and everything, so they was able to see that Josiah Mitchell's father, he was lying because whatever he was saying didn't coincide. Then they'll bring that to your attention, so you're basically caught up. Then the next thing you know, you're being charged, which is what happened to him. Yeah. So, man, well, they definitely they must have some information because they caught him later, but yeah, I guess he left too many clues. These Keystone criminals.
Yeah, they could, like you said, they could find, and then they build the case up, and then. But what was strange for me is how they walked. That was the police. That wasn't like a news reporter. That was the police. They just walked away from. And to me,
you talk about going back to Henry Dinkins. Well, that's a clear sign. That's a clear sign to me with the father. But that's what made me suspect MFC about the mother. But you got to remember,
the mother,
her verbiage. She was, I wouldn't say street, like a person from the street is bad, but she definitely was ultra street. Here's your daughter. Here's the person that's basically gonna, find her if that's the case, and you up here, go, let's, walking up with your son. So that right there, friend of mine, she was saying how she thought she was guilty. Maybe they had a plan together. Let's come up with these rules and say she's missing when here it is they did something, but. Speeding up for the trial, the little boy is saying that he seen the father shoot. So maybe I'm just speeding ahead, jumping, and maybe he threatened the son. You better not say that.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Oh, it'll come out. I'm gonna dig a little deeper and see what happened as far as the little clues. But yeah. From his act, like I said, you can see his body language. He definitely not to mention, it's not. By coincidence, you have all of those, things in your vehicle like that, and they didn't say he's he's chopping down trees. So, you might have some things like that in your vehicle, but no.
Yeah. That's true.
My question will be the time frame, but I haven't looked into that. Like I said, I just, was noticing he was going to trial. Now, I heard about that case a couple of years ago, but, the cases like that just, they totally bother me because I grew up seeing nothing but, people being mistreated and things. And it's not just poor kids. I had a friend that was one of my friends that was the most well off, and he was, abused. And at a later age, we was, damn near in our 20s, and like, what the hell? You beat the crap out your pops. But it was a respect thing. So it's like I said, and hey, some kids need, I'm all with, spanking your kids if they need it. But as far as, overdoing it, or you're stressed out, so you're coming home, you're beating your kid because, your life is not going right.
Yeah.
It's evil again, so
That's
that
right.
part. And I know some people are going to take this wrong, but I want to know, okay, from when the Cypher, where is the LGBTTT crew? Because there is a Virginia rapper, right, MFC? She, killed a 10-year-old 10-year-old boy. Okay, she's on the run. Let's
Oh wow.
You still ain't reach out to me.
She's playing the role of a man. She got into some man business. She killed a gentleman, and then wound up shooting his son. I believe by accident, but still, it doesn't matter.
23 around 3 p.m. We put them behind bars. Just last week on August 9, 2023, around 3 p.m., Franklin police responded to a 911 call about a shooting at the 300 block of Artist Street. And when police arrived at the scene, a 10-year-old boy and a 37-year-old man were injured after being shot. They were both then transported to Bon Secours Southampton Memorial Hospital. The man was then flown to another hospital where he was treated and released. But unfortunately, the little boy did not make it. He died from his injuries at the hospital. The little boy was later identified by his parents as Lamarge Deshaun Holden. And as for the 37-year-old man, no identity was released. But according to a neighbor, she said that multiple shots were fired.
I was sitting in my front room watching TV, and all I heard 4 or 5 shots, bam, 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 about 4 or 5 times.
Betty has lived on Artist for just about a year now. She's friends with the 10-year-old's grandmother and says she's disturbed by the news.
It's really sad, upset and sad.
Now, so far during the investigation, police say that 4 individuals arrived at a residence of the adult male where an altercation between the 37-year-old and the suspects took place. And during the altercation, Virginia rapper who goes by 23 Brazy, real name Tashonda Nicole Drayden, pulled out a firearm and began shooting, striking the man and also the boy. And so far, according to police, 23 Brazy has went on the run. The U.S. Marshals have also been involved in this case, and they are offering a $5,000 reward for any information about her whereabouts. And right now, they are labeling her as armed and dangerous.
Appears that a family member who was at the primary scene of the incident after the incident occurred picked up the young man and carried him down to the family residence further down the street. At this point, we went with the U.S. Marshals who have national jurisdiction, and although we don't believe she's gone national, we do believe they have better ties into some of the cities to the east.
Police say 11 and weighs about 250 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. If you see her, please call police immediately.
Damn, that's a big girl. Big girl. She's in some trouble. Some good trouble. Oh, yeah. She's in some good trouble. Yeah, little boy. These all little all little kids.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Armed, unalive. It's definitely got to get cleaner, And it's so much more that's not being publicized. You got to remember that.
Yeah, and this is in so many different states. It isn't just all lumped into one city or.
Yeah, definitely. Getting crazy all over. But maybe she had a prior situation. With the male that was shot, the kid's father. But I always was raised. Kids around. Be a little mindful of that. So that's not to mention it's when you play with guns, you're gonna get that fire. And she wasn't a big artist. I never heard of her prior to this, but you had a career that could have been on the rise. From the little research I did, she was making some moves. She had a couple of videos out there, but was getting numbers. And look what you're doing. You're throwing your life away. Because there's no way to get around this. They really gonna put the muzzle on her, especially once it's publicized with a murder. Remember, this is not just some old little robbery or B&B, but this is as serious as it gets, as they say. So yeah. But yes, MFC, we about to bounce on out of here. We'll be back in a couple of hours. We're gonna do a little morning run.
Okie dokie.
Gotta do some laps with a nice Mexican, allegedly. When's the last time you've been swimming, MFC? Yeah, you gotta get that.
It's been a bit.
You gotta get in that Olympic pool.
Yeah, I used to go to the gym with the jacuzzi and everything.
Oh yeah. This spot they got the jacuzzi too. Yeah, get your little swim on there. But that really slugs me out. I get so sluggish and tired. That jacuzzi, man, I could. Oh yeah.
But it relaxes your muscles. It's really good the jacuzzi is really good not only for your muscles, but also it reduces your stress. It's a lot. It's really Yeah, you like you do feel.
I'm a FaceTime you while I'm up in it. Yeah, what's here? Yeah. They got the jets up in there too, be blowing you around. Yeah, the strong
Oh
jets too.
yeah.
Man, I've been like, you know, you females. I know. I heard about them jets. Y'all be playing around. Allegedly.
Yeah, some of those places the jets are so strong you got to hold on to the side.
Yeah, no,
Because
this
that
one, yeah,
pressure.
it definitely.
Yeah.
They have a button. It's all the way up because it's certain areas it's stronger, and that I mean too
Yep.
strong. Like the hell, yeah, y'all need to lower that down. But no, yeah, it's definitely good. Anybody out there, definitely, if you ain't got the jacuzzi or something, get your butt in that hot bath. Get it as hot as you can.
Shower. Yep.
Yeah, there ain't no shower. I'm talking about that bath. You gotta get in
No,
there,
that's
soak
true.
in it.
That's true.
All right, and get
And
your
you could
mind
put
right. Nothing wrong with that.
nope.
My
And
partner.
there's
Oh,
so many
that's too
things you can add
feminine.
to your water.
You guys don't do that. We just take showers. What? I said, get your funky man, ladies. Y'all better if your man ain't getting a soak every once in the blue. Yeah. You tell Boo he need to get
No, but
that.
it is real. It is really good, especially
snow is
especially if
good
you're
for
in
you.
construction or you do those jobs outside or you're always on your feet. Like say the mailman and UPS guys. A nice soak is really. And then there's so many things you could put in your bath. Your
You need that. You need
purpose.
soap. I'm just talking about cleansiness. Okay, a shower is not gonna get it all. You got to get in the crevices of your goddamn corns. It's a whole bunch of things you need to
Yeah.
take in that tub that you just can't do in the shower. And that's all
Yeah.
I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least twice a week. And yeah. So that's a little jewel for you. You got and ladies. And
Yeah.
ladies. It's a good jewel, and not to mention, air out your damn balls. All right, so you won't be saying your balls is sweaty and stinky. Okay, just like ladies. All right, yeah, they ain't got to cover up. I suggest you go to bed butt naked. Let it air out. That's my advice for the day. But MFC, you want to lead us out with a prayer because definitely the world needs a prayer right now, and any kid that's being abused. When the cipher sends you love, hopefully you get this love, and it's not the end of the
Yes.
world.
And blessings for the families.
Not your fault. Yeah, definitely. If you're being abused, it is not your fault. Because that's the main thing I've noticed. People think, that it's their fault, and maybe I shouldn't have been this way, or like a friend of mine felt bad because the parents had a couple of kids and they would blame it on them and abuse them, physically.
No, it's true. It's true.
That's definitely not your fault. This is
No.
what the creator made it. And it takes two to tango. So if your parents didn't get down, you wouldn't be here. Okay, unless you Mother Mary or something like that. But go ahead, MFC, get into your prayer. We're gonna be back in a couple of hours, no doubt. Much love to everybody on here, on the planet we live in. Be good, love life.
Yep. Well, dear God, please protect all of us out here in the crazy times we're living, and hopefully for any children that since there's a lot of them out there that's missing, please let the outcomes be more on a positive level, that the children are found unhurt and alive, and support and everything for those parents, that are that are this has just destroyed their whole their whole life. But for everybody out there, please, they used to have a thing many years ago, at 10 o'clock at night. They said, "Do you know where your children are?" So that's important too, as parents and stuff. And we have to be more aggressive sometimes, and sometimes being overprotective. But as far as a prayer, please, dear God, watch over all the children, and even the parents that are going through a lot of stuff, and and hopefully there's someone to talk to, or go to your church, or your your synagogue, or wherever you practice, and ask for help, and guidance and things like that. But on this, on tonight, let everybody go to bed safe, And please, everybody, be blessed and have a good evening. Phone Winning Cipher. Amen.